This program is sponsored by Dave Stahl.
Power on. Power on.
It's time to take your place on the starting grid and get ready for Racer Radio. Your host, Dave Stahl, about to take you for a white-knuckled lap around the motorsports industry, covering everything from top-notch national drivers and crew chiefs right down to your local kid racers and racetracks. Watch for the apex, because here comes Racer Radio with Dave Stahl.
All right, folks, welcome to Racer Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The answer.
Well, we got Britney in the house. She's drinking Reagan's water. You get
She
your
offered
own.
it.
No, get
She's
your
sharing.
own. So Britney's decided to make this
A family affair.
the kitty show. And we've got Reagan, who's all a year and a half, but it's just as adorable as can be. And we have a very, very special guest to the point where Brendan, our board op, remembered him being in before.
Yeah, he called in last
But that's
season.
it. He called in.
Yeah.
He wasn't even in.
And I learned so much just from the call. I learned so much. I learned that he is surrounded by a lot of good people who support him.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that he'll race just about anything as long as he's going in circles, wings, no wings, 2 wheels, 4 wheels, because he had just raced flat track when he called in.
Oh,
and
that's right.
He remember that? And then he has a knack for finding races because he had a decent run despite COVID. And
It's tough. It's tough out there. So how you doing, AJ?
Doing good. Just excited to see you guys and
What
be
are you
here.
What are you driving this season, if anything?
I mean, we're doing a little bit of everything. Doing definitely the non-wing stuff with CRA and USAC, and then I think we're planning on doing a lot of wing stuff and mini sprint stuff with the wing and non-wing.
that you're liking, because wasn't that kind of new to you when we talked last?
I think I did like one. That was like my first or second race in the wing car, and it was cool. I got the bug for sure.
Did you hear about this new series that Don Kazarian from Paris and Corey Kruzman are putting together, where it's a spec crate motor?
Yeah. I mean, I just saw the thing they posted about it. It's like the Sportsman, I think it's Sportsman Sprint or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. But I mean, you get a crate motor sealed for $8,000, and you go buy a 410 or a 360, you're spending.
We were talking about that off air.
Yeah, how fast could your checkbook go?
Oh, man, right? That's a great opportunity for anyone that wants to get in sprint cars, because then you learn that the cars themselves and the components, they're expensive, but not in comparison to a motor. And if you want to be competitive.
And it'll last all season as long as you maintain it and check the fluid levels and change them periodically.
And I imagine those things are pretty easy to maintain. There's not a whole lot. It's a sealed motor. You can't
touch it.
Yeah, you can't do much to it except keep it clean and not to wreck it.
Yeah, well, try not to wreck it. Oh
That
I forgot
helps.
about that part.
That helps.
That'll still happen.
Yeah, that's it. I don't understand that. It just gets away with you every once in a while. But so you must be leaving town or traveling to go drive a race?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we don't really know what our schedule is. We're kind of playing it by ear. I know CRA is supposed to start, I think, March 12th and 13th at Canyon. So I think that would potentially be our first race. And then from there, it's kind of like, it almost looks like every weekend after that, we're racing somewhere, whether it be the mini sprint or a sprint car or the wing car with King of the West.
That was just 3 different divisions you just mentioned, right?
Yeah, and then
for this season.
And then, as long as the wife's okay with it, I plan on doing the flat track stuff.
Okay, I was gonna get there. By the way, listeners, the whole Bender family's here. We do have Tiffany chasing Reagan around as AJ is seated here in the interview. But I wanted to ask about the flat track.
Yeah,
I'm watching her face as you talk. Okay, you talk. I'm gonna watch Tiffany's face.
I don't know what scares her more that I do is the racing, the wing car, or the flat track stuff. I think she's pretty used to the non-wing stuff because she's been around it for a while now. But I just remember the first time she saw me do a wing race, she was like, "Holy crap!"
Because of the speed.
Stupid fast.
They're stupid fast, and she was like, "You want to do that?"
Well, you just explained the stickiness of it.
Oh, well, yeah. So I mean, you have a big wing on top, so it just
pushing you down.
Yeah, so the faster you go, the faster it's pushing you down. So
right.
You almost feel like you're on asphalt.
Yeah.
So,
you have so much traction.
So let me ask you a question. So you're in a wing car, and then you get into a non-wing car where you don't have that downforce. Does that kind of give you that pucker power every once in a while? Because you're going into that turn thinking, maybe like a wing car, and all of a sudden it's not there.
Yeah, you got to have the right mindset going. If you're going to jump in and out of each one, you totally got to have a different mindset because you do not drive those cars the same in any sense of the matter.
Yeah, you mentioned that when you called in that you were started practicing with the wing. And you were like, okay, I got to change a few things.
Oh, I had to change a lot of things.
Not backing it in and stuff.
There's so much different. And I mean, in the wing stuff, I'm still
still learning.
Still lost,
Do you think you're thinking, whereas with the non-wing, you're feeling and just kind of doing?
Well, even we raced last weekend in Arizona. And I think my biggest complaint to my dad was just like, I'm not really... I don't know what I'm looking for, I know in a non-wing car I know what I'm looking for in the car, and I know what I'm expecting it to feel like. In the wing car, I feel like I'm just I'm going fast.
Well, you don't know what to look for.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. And luckily we did that race last weekend, and there were just some of the best wing sprint car drivers in the world that were there. So I got to kind of pick some of their minds and get an idea. And
that's good.
Yeah, so that was cool, and it's a whole different game,
And they shared with you, right?
Yeah, they're definitely all business, and they're a little...
Well, they know you're not in their league, so they know you're not going to take anything away from them.
That's why I get so much advice from the drivers.
Well, because well, you go out and you're very sheepish. You go, well, how about do I need to do this or do I need to do that? But the minute you get good or win a race, you're toast. They're never going to talk to you again.
Yeah, they're not going to help you then. But no, right now they were all pretty helpful, just kind of getting me in the right direction. It's like we were talking with my dad and our buddy who helps us. He was like, I feel like we're past the point of comfortable. Like we know we got an idea what we're doing, and now we're trying to get to that like next level of just being more competitive and finding that fine-tune stuff. And
do you have to build confidence in the car going into the turns?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that was another part that we discussed a lot last weekend, was the fact that those guys, they come out of the gate first lap in the first practice session, they're 100%. They know exactly what they're looking for, what they're feeling, and it didn't feel like I personally didn't feel comfortable until like the end of the heat race or in that situation.
And even then, you probably weren't 100% comfortable.
No, just because at that place the track changes so fast. So it's like you're trying to you get comfortable on one track, and then you go out for the next set of practice or the heat race or whatever it is, and the track's different. So you're trying to be comfortable driving that thing over 100 miles an hour around the wall and be fast.
Over 100 miles an hour.
Well, and the thing of it is, we know we want you to be safe, but you don't want to wad that car up.
No.
I mean, once it's wadded up, I don't think you have a spare in the trailer.
Nope.
No. So, and I think that rides heavy on a driver, that doesn't have mega bucks and mega cars. Yeah. And that's a little bit of a detriment, but it makes you, makes you a better driver, don't you think?
Yeah. Yes and no at the same time, because I've had that.
I don't think it does.
I've had that conversation with car owners that I drive for, and then car owners being my dad, where it's like sometimes
there's
like
a distinction.
He'll notice that I'm kind of driving like a wuss, and be like,
and he'll tell you.
It's funny, my dad notices that too.
It's like let's like don't worry about crashing this thing, like.
We can fix it.
Yeah, we can fix it. Like, push it a little bit more, And I'm like, he's like, I know you don't want to crash. I know you don't want to break it, but like. It's no fun going around here last place, so we got to push it a little bit. And then I have like a car owner that I drive the mini sprint for, and that guy's just like full throttle. Let's do this thing. Let's get it going. And like that's awesome to have that kind of personality and backup behind you.
Awesome.
All right, well, hang on there. We got to take a break. Is anybody Brona call in yet? Okay, Brona doesn't call in. You get another segment.
Because he's raced there. That's where we met.
Yeah, thanks to El Cajon Ford and Barona Speedway, and their schedule's out.
Yeah.
So we're excited.
April 3rd,
now we just have to wait and see how that shakes out. Yeah. But folks, you are listening to Racer Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Yeah, I'm as good. Hey, did I hear you say Dirt Dude's on the line?
That's what I heard.
All right. Hey, Dirt Dude, how's it going?
What's up, gang?
Just living the dream, sitting here talking to AJ Bender and Reagan Bender, who is taking over the show.
You let anyone take over that studio, huh?
Well, she's only a year and a half. What are you
too
going to
cute.
do? Now she's playing with Brandon.
You can't say no to a cute face like
No,
that.
she's absolutely adorable. So we've been sitting here talking about the thrills and spills of winged versus non-winged cars, and AJ's kind of justifying, not wanting to tear up somebody's car. But you know how that goes.
You want to
I
give
was
a
listening in. That's when I was like, "Oh, dude, I got to call in."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Is anyone on the phone for Bro?" And I'm like, "No,
Nope.
that should be me."
Yeah, I'm pointing out to our guest AJ that I see on April 3rd Lightning Sprints winged, and then I see later on June 26th Lightning Sprints wingless. Changing it up, and I'm sure AJ would do both.
Are you going to do both, AJ?
If I can find a ride in that, definitely. I saw that they had the 360 sprints too, which seems pretty cool. And there's people like Amanda Robertsons that are posting a lot to it and trying to spread the word to like
yeah.
some news actors.
I know
you guys to come
Shane
down.
Sexton picked up a 360 Sprint car. And talk to Brent Sexton. He's got like 5 of them things, and he lets everyone jump in them when they want.
You don't want to know how many times I've asked Brent to let me drive those things. And
He should consider it.
What's he saying?
He
No?
always
Come
says
on.
no. I don't know why. I think it's just because I don't let his kids beat me.
You heard it here.
That's right. Well, hey, and I wouldn't expect anything less if I had kids that were racing. And I don't think Brett really wants you to let him kids win, even though, because losing's good.
No, Brent and I and all the Sextons, we're all good friends.
There,
so-
well, yeah, it's a big community, that's for sure.
It's called healthy competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Sitting here chatting with AJ Bender. I appreciate you coming in for an hour.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun, hopefully, and we brought his little girl in, Reagan, who's just a handful.
Just terrorizing the studio.
She is
She
having
is not going
a-
to cause any dead air on the station.
No, none whatsoever. She's an absolute pistol, but she's a cutie, no doubt about it.
Yeah, she's fun. She's always a handful.
I was going to say she keeps you up at
Me on
night.
my
huh?
toes. Oh yeah, she keeps me up at night. She's hard to handle, but
The longer she's here, the wilder she gets.
yeah, she's just getting too comfortable in here now.
Yeah, I know. She's just having herself a gay all the time. Like, where's all my toys?
Exactly.
How come I don't have toys? So we've been talking to AJ Bender. He's really hasn't decided what he's going to drive. He just wants to drive everything, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, like you guys said before, you got a wheel on it, and you'll let me drive it.
I'm driving it.
I'll get in.
Yeah, you'll get in. So what do you do for a day job?
I work for a yacht management company here in San Diego, down in
What are you doing?
Shelter Island. Oh
I'm
yeah.
looking at it.
Points at your jacket. I go,
Yeah.
what is she doing?
I was like, oh man, I dropped something.
Yeah, right. Breakfast?
Yeah, so I mean, I work for a yacht management company, and I also have a captain's license, so I charter boats from here and there. I mean, that's kind of hit and miss. I would like to make that my full-time job, but it's hard. It's hard in San Diego doing it just because during the summer times it's busy as can be, but the winter times you don't know when you're going to get a phone call. So
Wouldn't it be cool to shuttle boats from all around? Just take them.
I mean, I've been lucky enough to do some charters, like from Ensenada up to here,
Yeah.
just kind of all over. And
What size boats are you classified up to?
I'm classified for a 50-ton. So I mean, I think the biggest power boat I've driven, I believe, was like I think it was like a 75-foot, and I've driven like a 70-foot sailboat.
Oh,
That's
wow.
just the ones that we got the opportunity
Yeah,
to
yeah,
drive,
yeah.
But
And
So-
go ahead.
I was
Sorry.
going to say, what do you think of America's Cup?
I mean, honestly, I don't.
Just between you, me, and the fence boat. Nobody's listening. But
Yeah, I mean-
are you into these sponsions where they get up? I mean, that's not sailing.
Yeah, that I don't follow it too much, but I have seen a little bit of it, and I mean, it's definitely a different sport now. Like, it doesn't seem they got those foils.
The foils. Yeah.
I mean, those things they go fast.
Oh, they're what?
It's insane.
Averaging 25, almost 30 miles an hour, depending on the wind. But I'm an old, America's Cup kind of guy. I like the boat in the water.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that's just a different. I
Animal.
got no idea about it, but yeah, it's
That's crazy.
different to see.
So, by the way, is your boat management company sponsoring you on the race car?
No, I've been trying to get the owner of the company I work for. I mean, this is actually a different guy. This guy I do charters for.
What's his name? You could do it. But let's throw him out here on air. We'll go get him some money.
Captain Don Marine Charters. He's a cool guy. He's got all kinds of
They
boats in
just
San
need
Diego.
to see you race,
Yeah.
and then they might be hooked.
Yeah, that's
the problem is this guy and my boss. It's West Coast Yacht Marine Services. His name's Ed Noonan. Really awesome guy. They're big desert racers, so they They just see me going in a circle, and they're like, "Oh, you're just
Yeah,
turning
you're
left."
just going.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't come out yet.
He hasn't come out and seen one yet.
Yeah.
So we're working on it. He's getting into it a little more.
Okay,
but
here's the other thing.
Infield at Paris, when you're racing your sport car, have him stand in like turn 3, and you'll hook him.
Or you better yet, put him in the car.
That's this thing. He's like, if I come, I want to get in it and drive it. And I was like, all right, well,
okay,
let's get in there.
And then what I would keep going after, say, come on, wuss.
Yeah,
you keep saying you want to do it. Let's get with the program. Come on.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Every time I see him, I'm like, man, West Coast Yacht Marine would look really good on the side of the race car.
All painted up with the yacht's colors.
Yeah, and I don't know. I haven't got him there yet, but we'll see. I think I'm slowly easing him into it.
He'll get it before I get San Diego Unified to sponsor mine. Make it look like a school bus.
I think San Diego Unified. That's like having AARP sponsor me in a race car. You know what I mean? I usually say a monster truck because that's always been my dream.
Yeah.
There's something about monster trucks. I just love them to death. And I felt at my age I should get AARP to sponsor my monster truck.
I think that's a great idea.
I would only make, 1 or 2 jumps, and I'd be in the hospital all broken up. But, hey, what the hey.
As long as those 1 or 2 were spectacular.
Absolutely. Well, I guarantee you they'd be spectacular. Yeah, it's how old do you think you would be if you didn't know how old you were today? I'm 18. And the rest of it is, in fact, it's funny you mentioned flat track. I should tell you off air, I had my little flat track experience, went up to City of Industry.
Yeah.
And took a class.
Okay.
Yeah.
What class did you take?
It was just a little Yamaha's 250. I can't think of the guy's name. It was a flat track school of some kind.
It's not called American Super Camp, is it?
I don't know if it was a super camp. I don't remember.
I work for American Super Camp, and that's what we do. We do flat track stuff at City of Industry,
Yeah.
but like this year we're actually doing it at Blackmore Ranch.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I'll send you the information.
Yeah.
You'd love it.
Broke 4 ribs, punctured a lung.
Yeah, you'd love it.
Yeah, it was an awesome experience.
But that's right. You mentioned that when you called in last time.
Yeah, that's right. You did.
worked there.
That's how I got started in flat track. I started doing that thing with my friend Jake, who invited me out, and I just started doing the schools. And then the owner was like, "Hey, why don't you just start teaching with us? Because you picked it up." And I had no experience in motorcycles, so I just did all
Oh my gosh, really?
my only experience was doing the American Super Camp and picked it up, and I always contribute to it that I got to ride with like the best street bike racers and flat track racers, so I just learned so fast and I could pick up things so quick, and then I was just like, all right, I want to go race flat track now.
Yeah, because he keeps mentioning his buddy Jake. Yeah, just Jake. Just racing over, representing the US of A. Just Jake on you.
Yeah.
Jake. That's all. Just,
nobody, nothing.
My buddy.
Nothing big.
I kind of race with people who know how to race.
I loved it. Flat track is just, it's a different animal.
It's a whole different sensation. It's a pretty cool
I
feeling.
bet, man. Being on the edge with
Well, you ride bikes, you know.
Yeah, but I don't do flat track.
It's different when you get
It's
the
right
rear
on
end
the
stepping
edge.
out.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you're this way. And then you have to learn to get up on the crack or the edge of the seat.
Oh, yeah. And get your elbows up and get on the side of the seat. And
that's where I ended up. Well, actually, there was a pro, and this was a bunch of journalists.
Okay.
And she went high. I went low. She came down and stopped. And I went, oh, and I got all over it. And wow, and over I went. Boy, and it was,
the cool thing about the school is, like, it's teaching people how to ride flat track, but it's also teaching, like, motorcycle safety and, like, trying to get rid of people's bad habits of, like, in a panic situation, just grabbing the front brake.
That's what I did.
I'm about to say, I was a bet that's probably what you did, was just all 4 fingers, grab that front brake,
How far
or
of a
pull
drive?
the clutch in. How far of a drive, what?
From here to that school.
Well, so that school, they're a traveling school, so they do everything from the East Coast. So, like, I think in the beginning of February, and they also do schools for the Marines.
Yeah,
so
the
we do like
military.
a military school,
yeah.
where it's like it's pretty much free for the Marines. They just show up, they
'cause
sign up, and it's the same thing just because they've had so many fatalities.
I was just
and
going to say,
They come home, they get
come-
on their motorcycle.
They go buy a brand new bike or a big Ducati that they've never ridden a bike, and then they go out there and sadly kill themselves riding around. So it's just trying to teach motorcycle safety.
Right.
And
it's the number one killer in the military.
yeah,
is
exactly.
motorcycles.
That's what we talk about every time. That's why.
I do a class called Driven to Dare with a girl by the name of Sandy Rose Bowler.
Okay.
And it's a combination of cars, and we always, we bring a motorcycle segment into it as well. And I do the motorcycle segment. I love it. I say, hey, gentlemen, how many girls and boys, how many ride motorcycles? They all raise their hand. I says, how many of you been down? and half of them don't raise their hand. I said, well, mark your calendar because you're going to go down. Well, because you are. And the purpose of that is gear up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to see you in flip-flops, shorts, and a tank top.
And practice.
And keep going to schools. Just because you went to one school, you got to go again and again.
I got a text from my parents. Go to AJ's flat track class. Dawn went and loved it. All capital explanation.
Oh, there you go.
I've never seen one bad complaint. Everybody always loves it. We have a great time. I mean, everyone rides. You ride with some of the best. I mean, I'm nowhere compared to the people that we ride with, but like you get a ride of some of the best street bike racers. They'll have actual flat guys that race the AMA flat track stuff. And I mean, it's
What's
cool.
the cost for a class?
You know what? I'm not 100% sure.
Do
you have a website?
Yeah. So if you just go into AmericanSuperCamp.com.
Well, you didn't think we were going to talk about motorcycles.
I wasn't planning on bringing that up, but
I raced our truck.
Yeah. So if you go into Moto America, if you go into AmericanSuperCamp.com and you get a hold of Danny Walker, all of his information's on there, and
there you go.
Talk to him, tell him I sent you, and we're doing a bunch of classes starting the beginning of March. I think there's like 5 days at the Blackmore Ranch, which I don't know if you guys know what the Blackmore Ranch is. You need to look it up. It's probably the coolest adult playground in the world I've ever been to.
Okay.
It's in Temecula, and this guy.
Oh, it's in Temecula.
Yeah, so they normally do it at City of Industry, but with the COVID stuff, they had to relocate, and then he
That's
got in contact
better.
with this guy.
Well, you got her contact info. Give that to him. I'll put him on KUSI TV.
Okay.
And promote the flat track school.
And then you go to Dofo Winery afterwards. What?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, so they're doing that,
So
and
you
they
keep
do Santa
saying
Rosa.
we. You're still working there? You're still doing this?
Yeah, so like the super camp stuff, like I do, it's not consistent work. So
Sure.
it's,
Well, not right now.
And
it's not.
I only do when they come to the West Coast because they
Got it.
do everything from the East Coast all the way to
Well,
here.
when the next time they come to the West Coast, just let Brittany know and let me know. I think I've got your email, in fact, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Let me know. And like I said, I'm more than happy to give them some TV time and we can give them some radio time just to – because I do it with Ford and their driving skills for life to the point where they tell me I can't do it anymore because now every time they come, it's booked.
Yeah.
So there's no room for anybody in town to sign up for it because it's already booked. And I think that school – would be good, not for somebody that wants to go flat track racing, but for somebody that's going to ride a motorcycle.
That's the whole objective about it. Yeah, it's like if you ride flat track, it's great because you get to learn from really good flat trackers about technique.
Right.
But it's also just about anyone who rides a motorcycle.
That's right.
I don't know how many people have been in the class that have no motorcycle, never even been on a bike.
Right.
We got to teach them how to work a clutch. But they walk away have gained so much just from trying to instill good habits.
Yes.
Right.
Don't just grab a handful of brakes.
Don't grab a
and
handful of brakes.
Don't grab a
or
handful.
pull the clutch in,
Yeah.
Or pull the clutch in. That's another one that'll do it. All right, folks. Hey, don't go anywhere. Gun Owners Radio is right around the corner. Where? FM 96.1. AM 1170.
The answer.